to you, baby. I just get carried away. You blow my mind. I just get carried away. Talking to you, baby. I just get carried away. You blow my
Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. Marcus Thuram with the hat trick into 3, Torino 2. But it was not an enjoyable watch. That was a painful watch. And at moments, it felt like 10-man Torino were going to equalize and the game was going to finish 3-3. Positives to take in terms of Thuram getting his first ever hat trick into attacking, pretty good, creating lots of chances. But outside of that, there's still those issues, guys, still lots of issues. And I can see him, all the concerns in the comments as well. As Matthias says, barely surviving as 10-man Torino. As Lucas says, sweaty as F. Bit annoying, we created a majority of all our conceded goals. We're not going to retain the title. We're not going to retain the Scudetto with this type of defending. It's as simple as that. We are now 7 games into the season. We are still in a good position in the league. Not where we want to be, of course, but nothing catastrophic. But our goals against 9 is just not good enough at the moment. And there's a stat, so I think Siavush mentioned it on his Twitter. Inter have conceded 9 goals in 7 games. It took until match day 19, according to his stat, to concede this many goals last year. So completely different. It's not like you have to replicate last year, because again, I've mentioned it many times. I think last year was a bit of an overperformance in all aspects, in the way that the amount of goals we scored, but also mainly, the amount of goals we conceded. But this is a big dip from that, and we're not going to retain our title like this. My prediction is to Inter to win this Scudetto, but the more time goes on, every single match that I'm watching, I don't know about you guys, it's starting to become a bit hard to still say that we can't continue defending like this. We'll get on to the positives. We'll talk about everything. I've got lots of screenshots today from the game. I've got, I think, about like 20 screenshots. So there's lots to cover. But you guys, before we get into it, please, guys, it doesn't cost a penny. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thank you. Pazza Inter strikes again. I mean, Rob, I think Pazza Inter, we can call it Pazza when, we're, there's a comeback and there's up in, we're 1-0 down or 2-1 up, and they come back, we come back, or last minute goal. But this was just poor, sloppy Inter. Pazza Inter, I think we need to define it to, more crazy games. Today was just more sloppy. What we were seeing is just lack of concentration. Seppuku FC, as Matteo says, just self-harm. Concentration levels, as Gianni says, the concentration levels are just not there. The right centre-back position, Matteo, 100%. There's some issues going on. Thuram, Serie A best goal scorer bet looking good. Well done to you, Oni. I'm still not sure about that bet. Retegi's going strong, and Thuram only seems to score in bunches at the moment. It would be great to start to see Thuram scoring 1 goal each game rather than 2 goals each game, or today 3 goals, and then go 2-3 games without scoring. As Kirby says, yeah, I mean, if you started watching Inter last season, if you were let's say you were a new Inter fan that just started watching Inter regularly last season, you were completely sold a lie. This is how it's like watching this team usually. You hate this team most of the time. You're just stressed. You wonder why you committed yourself to watching this team. Maybe you had some better plans potentially to go out with your friends or family. You chose to watch this. This is mostly what it's like being an Inter fan. If you were just an Inter fan last year, you were sold a complete lie. And then now Nations break. I mean, this is at least a positive, Lucas, in terms of at least breathe. 3 wins in a row, just like we wanted and asked before the international break. At least now, like, we'll take a little break. But at the same time, Thuram at the end, there was ice on his ankle from the red card tackle that he got. It bent his ankle slightly. I've got the image of it. We'll look at it later. So we gotta hope that. I mean, I don't want to say I hope he's injured, or I hope that Inter maybe can fabricate some sort of injury for him to say to Deschamps that, you've got, like, Mbappe, Colomwani, other guys out there. Like, surely you don't need to call up Marcus Thuram, right? He's not even like your guy. He's not your guy. Like, you don't need to get him. Just leave him with us for the international break. And Barella as well, hopefully. I mean, he's still injured at the moment. And I think Spalletti didn't call him up, so that's good in terms of Barella, at least. But yeah, the others now, we got to hope they don't play too much and also don't get injured if they play. Di Marco, Bastoni, they're probably going to be squeezed out from Spalletti. Let's hope Lautaro isn't. Our part of my cards are starting to know me more and more. Why do we send I trust for budget on the GK and then yeah, I mean, Rico, I agree. That's why in the summer I was unsure about the strategy, because this year we couldn't sell any big players, so we didn't have much money to spend. But maybe next year, when we look back at it next year, we'll say, oh yeah, it was good that Inter bought a goalkeeper. But for me, I would have definitely tried to invest up front or the right wing back position. That was my thinking. What's up, Inka? Hope you all guys are doing well. Yeah, Lithuanians, very rare to see, but he was decent. He got the assist today. So many wasted chances again. Yeah, again, I mean, the defending was bad, but then our chance taking was also really, really bad. This team kills me, Shreve. There you go. Another one that tells us how it usually is being an Inter fan. Concentration at the back, major issue. Major issue. But I don't know about January signing neither, Kev. It's like, it's not just one. We're talking about 1 or 2 players, and not even just the defenders. You see, it's like, it's everyone. It's the whole team. Just like, everyone says in the interviews, it's not about Cherby or Bisek. Well, Bisek definitely wasn't fault for the goals today, but in general, whoever comes on, even when Pavard came on afterwards, we conceded. When De Vrij came on, we almost conceded. Like, it's just everyone at the moment that, and it is that this is what, we keep going back to what Inzaghi was talking about before the season started, about that full belly feeling that some players may have. Like, maybe he's not able to get that out of them again, that whatever the hunger was from last year, the concentration levels of wanting that second star. There's something amiss. And again, yeah, we use that word a lot recently, arrogance. Stanislav used it here, arrogance. With that mindset, we cannot defend the Scudetto. Yeah, I think you see that still, even though they keep talking about it in the post-match, like, oh yeah, maybe we have some arrogance, maybe we need to improve on things, but we're not really seeing it. The worst part is in the team's momentum. Yeah, that's true. It does kind of break the momentum. That's true, George. But there's nothing we can do about it. Well, at least Tanbir is choosing to focusing on the positive aspects. Phenomenal from Bastoni and Thuram, 100%. Bastoni, Thuram, maybe Hakan. I would have said Hakan up until the penalty was given. I would have said Hakan, one of the man of the matches as well. But yeah, Bastoni, Thuram, definitely standout players today. How do I become a member? Oba, thank you very much, first of all, for thinking about supporting the channel. But I think you can only do it via desktop version, if I'm correct. And there's a button somewhere down there that says join. I don't think you can do it via mobile. How do I rate Lautaro's performance? He was okay. He should have scored today. He had so many chances. In general, his play was decent. He was definitely the segunda punta today, the guy behind Thuram. But he wasn't particularly great. Let's have a quick look at his stats, actually. We're going to have a look at everyone's, but I just want to now that Shakira brought it up. 7.2 here. Let's have a look. Yeah, look how many shots he had. 6 shots. Very good passing. 2 big chances missed. Yeah, like at least 2 headers. I think he should have scored today. At least one of them. Yeah, his general play was decent, but yeah, I had him as my captain for my fantasy team. So I'm actually angry with Lautaro not scoring or assisting. But yeah, decent, but should have done better. On the side, look like Mkhitaryan back to back, really good game against Red Star, and pretty good today as well. So yeah, maybe Mkhitaryan is one of those guys that you just keep to. I guess he's gonna keep playing, so more he plays, the better he gets. Yeah, lots of comments coming in about the poor defensive side of things. Pavard Bisek going to stay up in Argentina for the international break. Yeah, Pavard has not been called up. Bisek's not been called up. So yeah, time to drill him in. Yeah, even though Alexandru here is a Juve fan, but I completely agree. You guys, the way you guys are defending, that's title winning defending. On the other side, they're probably not scoring much Juve, so they've got other issues, but they also look like they started to score a bit more recently. But yeah, at the moment, Napoli and Juve look a bit more solid than us. If I talk about just solidity wise, thank you, Mattia, for reminding the people. Modern players have so many ACL injury careers. Yeah, it's just bound to happen, Indra. Like the amount of football these guys are playing, the amount of injuries they're getting because of that, the intensity. That's one thing as well. I know, like back in the day, people used to say quite correctly, the tackling was way more like aggressive, and you could get away with almost murder sometimes. You could just hack down guys, and they had like proper studs, like metal studs sometimes back in the days, or heavier boots in general. But that's like more impact. Now the intensity of the game, the sprints, the amount of running, the changes of directions players have to do, and that's every few days. Torino don't play in Europe, but still, like, it's a lot of football that they play, and it's a lot more intense style of football, a lot of pressing, a lot of running off the ball. Even for a guy like Duvan Zapata, this guy weighs what, like 85, 90 kilograms of like pure muscle. This body's not made for that. His body's made like, for bodybuilding, picking heavy things and putting them down. His body wasn't supposed to be used for, football. The guys will return weren't out of the Stupid Nations game, a never-ending cycle. Yeah, and then you have these games in between. It's never-ending. I'm super irritated regarding our right side. Is Matteo expecting to do something like that? With Matteo, like, Darmian, it's who he is. Like, I can't even criticize Darmian for being ineffective attacking, because I always say this, even if he scores in the game, that doesn't mean anything to me, because it's the right wing back. It's about what he offers in that position as a right wing back, in that area, in the build up, in the crossing, in the play. And then when he gets in the box, anyone can do that, get into the box, score a goal. But that's just who he is, and I can't even blame him. Like, he doesn't go past anyone, he doesn't dribble past anyone, he's not going to pace someone, he's not going to whip in some amazing ball. Against Udinese, he did really well coming inside, and he did that really nice through ball to Frattesi. I was surprised about that. But in essence, he's a very simple, basic player, and I can't really blame him for that. That's the way this squad is built. We've got this weakness on the right wing back, that we don't have a Di Marco. Di Marco does so many different things. He's like, a regista on the left wing back position, but on the right wing back, the play almost dies. Yeah, I don't know about him. There's just so many different reasons that I think I can't pinpoint it to one thing. It's a mix of a bit of arrogance, definitely the beginning of the season, lack of maybe some motivation or hunger, or just, wanting it a bit more than the other team. Concentration levels for sure are dropping. And then because the team wasn't refreshed, maybe there isn't that guy that's hungry to come in to, get the starting spot. But actually, Bisek should be that guy, but he's showing lots of like concentration mistakes that we'll get into in a minute. Bremer injured still a question now for Juve, but with the possession football, I don't think it'll be a problem for Juve. Yeah, maybe in possession, definitely not. But at some points, Indro, Bremer is defending is what's kept them with 0 goals conceded. He's an absolute monster for me. I know some Interisti like to clown him, especially because we were supposed to sign him and he went to Juve. But to me, he's still the best centre back in the league, especially as a pure defender. So he's going to be a massive miss regardless. And their replacements, Gatti, Kalulu, Cabal, Danilo, that's a little step down. But yeah, they're a system-based team, so let's see how they cope with it. But to me, that should be a blow to their title chances. What's up, Massimo? Long time since I made a stream. Yeah, good to see you, bro. Tell me what is wrong with this team making us suffer for 3 points. Hey, you could say, Massimo, that this is back to normality, right? As an Interista, making us suffer for 3 points. Mansour was at the San Siro. Congrats, bro. Need to rewatch the game. I felt poor defending is due. Chala, very poor. Always goes aggressive. Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about this, about Hakan, that especially with all this, I'm not doing it just because people criticize Aslani and I'm some sort of Aslani defender, but people need to watch games closely. I've been watching Hakan closely. He's not the same player as last year. He's making a lot of little, like, you just watch Hakan, he's making little tiny mistakes. And I think Mansour has noticed it being live at the stadium. Sometimes he goes opposite of Aslan. He goes too aggressive and leaves holes. And today, like, he did the penalty. But today, actually, I thought he was actually really good for like 85 minutes until that mistake. But in other games recently, I've been seeing definitely what Mensah is mentioning here. And today, again, I mentioned it in the Udinese game when he made that awful slide tackle attempt when Luca went into goal. If Aslani comes in, 20 minutes, Aslani comes in, people are going to be slandering Aslani that this doesn't happen against Hakan. So that's 2 instances now already I've got in my pocket to say to people that say that it wouldn't happen if Hakan stayed on the pitch and Aslani came on. So, yeah. Yeah. He even tried to shoot from distance, which is very unusual. But, Torino were defending very deep at some point, so someone just had to try it. Yeah, but you saw when Dumfries came on, though, Indra, both times he got it, he tried to go past the guy, actually, today. That's something that he adds compared to Darmian, for sure. In all that negative, Lucas gives a bit of balance. I'm still happy with the current situation. Close to Napoli, great UCL start, Inzaghi under arrest. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. We keep seeing bad signs at the moment, and we are not in the position that we want. But we can recover from this. This is the thing. Inzaghi and the team can work on this. We can recover from this. The Scudetto is definitely still on the cards. We're right there, waiting for Juve's result tomorrow. Who will probably win. Who are they playing? Actually, let me have a quick look. Forgot. Oh, Cagliari. Yeah, so that should be pretty much a win. So yeah, you can say that, but still, it doesn't change the position for Napoli, who are at the top. So we're still 2 points behind. But things need to change. Things definitely need to change. We've conceded 0 in this. Oh yeah, there you go. It was 0 in the Champions League. So we're the best Champions League defensive team at the moment, right? Buchanan, yeah, we'll see about Buchanan if he comes back. I love Download. If you're going to be right wing, I don't see him in the club. I mean, I've been on this vibe for a while. If you guys know me on this channel, like, I think he should be just only be a right centre back, to be honest. Even the Hakimi time, to be honest, is not really the profile that I would go for. I mean, Hakimi is like, we love him, especially for that what he did on the Conte season, but that Hakimi really fit in the Conte system when we were much more counter-attacking. Now that we, under Inzaghi, it needs someone that's a little bit more technical, comfortable with the ball. Hakimi is only really useful when you're like getting it in behind, which is, how similar to what's Denzel is useful in terms of characteristics of how you get the best out of Hakimi and Denzel. It's about getting them in behind. You kind of need like I wouldn't even say another DiMarco, but you need someone that at least can compensate technically on the other side too, so we don't have to completely rely on the left-hand side for build-up and crossing. But anyway, guys, let's get into yeah, definitely need a David and Nicola masterclass tomorrow against Juve. Let's get into all the screenshots that we have. Yeah, in essentially a Cancelo, essentially in terms of characteristics, an all rounder. But obviously, it's not easy to find a Cancelo. I mean, Cancelo himself has had such a big fall off the last few years that now he's ended up in Qatar or in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, in Dari, we've been saying, like, we've been talking about a few matches now since the derby. We've been talking about lots of parallels to 22-23. So yeah, maybe is one of those seasons where we drop the ball in the league, but hopefully not, man. Hopefully not again. Time is there on our side at the moment. But yeah, let's get into the positives because Marcus Thuram is a massive positive that I don't want to discredit today because of the defensive issues. How good has he become? Is he becoming this season? He's had a few off games for sure, but maybe Taremi's good performance the other day woke him up that, you know, this guy is here, that he is there to challenge your spot. And he scores in bunches. That's the only issue I have with him. I mean, it's amazing. Like he's here with the Retegi at the moment, top scorer in the league. But he's only been scoring Genoa 2 goals, Atalanta 2 goals, today 3 goals. So if he can start spreading some goals out, that would be fantastic. If he can do what Lautaro was doing last year, that would be perfect. And, you know, Lautaro carried us to the Scudetto last year. And if he can do that, that would be amazing. And yeah, his heading ability is really, really improving this season. Yeah, maybe someone like Ndoye, who's almost like a Perisic, you know, profile in terms of athletic pace, a winger that's converting into a wing back, can also dribble, can also get in behind, can also, you know, have a bit of a goal threat. That's a bit of more of a hybrid, all-round profile. That's more interesting to me for sure. But yeah, Torino, we got to give also credit to Torino, guys. As bad as we were always when another team gives us trouble, it also means they're well coached. Vanoli, we talked about him before the game. There's a reason why Torino are 6th at the moment in the league on the same points as Milan. Very well coached team, very well disciplined. And even in 10 men, they gave us a run for our money. And look at that, 15 minutes in. I don't have any screenshots of Inter's chances from the first 15 minutes because we barely created anything, just some half shots, opportunities here and there, but nothing. Torino defended very well, quite deep, actually, surprisingly. They defended very deep. I thought they would try to press us a little bit more, but actually they didn't. In the 5-3-2, up until obviously they had 11 men. And then I would say the best chance actually first came from Torino here. Lazzaro on the far post. We talked about these wing back to wing back combinations that they have. Pedersen crosses it to Lazzaro. Lazzaro out jumps Darmian on the far post, but doesn't connect his header well. But that was a pretty decent chance there. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, again, I think you missed the beginning of the stream, Adam. But yeah, this was something I said at the beginning of the season, before the season started, that I disagree with this particular move for Inter, signing Martinez as a backup. But again, this is a group decision that they made. You know, Inzaghi must have said, I'm okay with Darmian and Dumfries for this year. And then this is where the game changes. Initially, I thought it was harsh on Maripan, right? I think the guy's name was, Maripan. Chilean centre-back. Actually, I was surprised that he started instead of Messina. Actually, there was a few Torino choices that I was surprised by. No Tameze, no Mazzina, no Ilic. I wonder why. But yeah, initially when he made that tackle, I thought, oh, that seems a bit harsh, you know, if he goes and gives him a red card. But actually, when you look at the replay, especially in slow motion, he could have really seriously injured Marcus Thuram there. You can see in the still image I have here, like Thuram's ankle, you can see that it's slightly bent because of the impact. And he was down on the ground for a while with his studs, Maripan. And it was definitely a red card. And the fact that when you think about it, from being on the receiving end of a potentially, injury-threatening tackle from Maripan, being injured, then he ends up scoring a hat trick. That deserves even more praise for Marcus Thuram. What a performance from Marcus Thuram! What a proper, true number 9 performance. All of the finishes were great. The third one was a little bit, bit of a bubbly finish, but the first 2 headers were fantastic finishes. But yeah, this is where the game changed. I don't know about that. I'm not really a fan of the goalkeeper rotation. Zoma's not really giving us a reason to rotate him out of the team. But yeah, I think we'll see him in the Coppa Italia. And yeah, here we are looking at Marcus Thuram's goals. This was the first one. Fantastic cross from Bastoni from that position that he loves to pick up, that, I don't know what they call it, the zone, something, the tacticals, they call it. There's certain zones on the pitch that each zone has a name. I forgot what that zone is called, the one just before the box on that left-hand side. But that's a typical Bastoni area to cross from. We filled the area nicely with 3 players. Calafiori and Thuram, fantastic header, and Milinkovic-Savic in goal. There's a Samir Handanovic statue save. That's 1-0 up from Inter, and you think, this is all easy work from now on. 10 man for most of the game. This should be 3-4-0, right? Nope. But fantastic result for Thuram. Great for his confidence. Really good pictures as well from his celebrations. And then he had a couple more other half chances. I mean, here from a corner kick, ball goes back in. He tries to hit it with his left foot. Just goes narrowly wide. And he also had one before that where he tries to, Di Marco crossed it in, and he just got his studs on it, but just couldn't quite get it on target. So he could have even had goals, maybe potentially even more goals, to be honest, than 3. We created a lot of chances today. And then here is the other one, and it comes from an Acerbi cross. Acerbi finding himself in an advanced position, swapping roles with Bastoni. Great whipped-in cross from Acerbi onto Thuram's head, who, again, great leap, great direction on his header. And again, Milinkovic-Savic completely static on this one. No chance for him. 2 goals for Marcus Thuram. And you're thinking again, easy work. This Inter team is going to win this easy 3 points. 3-4-0, clean sheet. Let's go. But no, it wasn't going to be. Bastoni has better crosses than wingers. Yeah, a lot of the times he does, to be honest. His crosses are really, really good. Really, really top-notch, world-class. Gabri in the house, got 3 points. Great from Tikus. We need to prove the credit attitude. Bolero return would be good. Keen for January centre-back signing. Yeah. You might be keen, Gabriele, but that's not realistic. Oh yeah, we should do it. The song, the Thuram song. Siamo venuti fin qua per vedere segnare Thuram. That's the song for Marcus Thuram that rings around the stadium, which means we came all the way here. We came all the way here to see Marcus Thuram score. The management is traumatized with Radu, so they prefer getting Martinez rather than getting another right wing back. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess they really like Martinez, and they felt like it was such a big opportunity to get him right now. Secure that post Zoma. I don't know. Maybe Auxilio really likes him, or Inzaghi really likes him. I don't know. It was between him and Bento, and Bento ended up going to Saudi Arabia. So either way, the decision was made that they were going to get a goalkeeper, whether it was Bento, whether it was Martinez. We'll see. Maybe, as I said, maybe in the summer, by next year, maybe we'll say, like, when we get to the summer, and then we're like, okay, now we're actually we don't have to spend any money on the goalkeeper position because we already sorted that for next year. And we'll say, okay, maybe that long-term thinking was quite good from Marotta Ausilio. But right now, to me, it's just questionable. And then, yeah, as I say, you think we're 2-0 up, everything's good, life is easy, we're going to cruise to victory. But no, from kickoff, it felt like a bloody FIFA goal. From kickoff, Torino end up scoring, Duvan Zapata slotting it past Jan Sommer. And a couple of interesting things to talk about here. Yes, Kirby, it probably was. To me, it didn't show it properly like the replay, but it looked like Duvan Zapata in the build-up to it shoved Acerbi with two hands. So to me, it looked like it could have been a foul, which ended up putting Acerbi on the floor. So that's one thing. But then the main thing to talk about on the goal is Bisek. So sorry for the blurry screenshots there, but I wanted to put them together on the side by side to show you why, outside of the fact that probably should have been a foul on Acerbi, Bisek completely switched off here and just looked at the ball rather than thinking. And this is, the difference between becoming a top defender and what Bisek is right now, someone with a lot of potential. Which is why I'm always very cautious with hyping young centre backs. Like, with Bisek, I do like him, but I always say that, like, Interisti, we made a lot of fun of Malik Thiaw at Milan, but it's like Malik Thiaw, we saw all his weaknesses after he started playing in the big games for Milan, like, the Derby, Juve, like. But before that, Malik Thiaw was doing very well for Milan. But then once you get exposed, then people start seeing the weaknesses. With Bisek, up until this year, up until he played at Man City, we hadn't seen Bisek in any big game. He only played, like, when we played the smaller teams or rotated the team. And now we're starting to see issues with Bisek. Now, this is probably second, third goal this season already that we can directly probably. Yeah, I wouldn't actually do the Udinese ones. I wouldn't directly blame on him. You could say second that directly would blame on him, Genoa, and then this one. So first, because Acerbi's on the floor from Zapata's push, he goes quite rightly and goes to kind of, take that spot and tries to duel Zapata for the ball. He wasn't a favorite there, so he loses that duel, but I don't really blame him for that. But then he needs to stick with Zapata. Zapata then moves the ball, runs in behind, and he just continues to follow the ball. And then there, he commits to that. He gets a yellow card actually afterwards as well, because he commits to the tackle, misses the ball, but gets the guy. And they score from this. And that's Bisek, lack of concentration, focusing on the ball rather than the man. And this is something that he has to improve on. And obviously Darmian is far from the situation. Maybe you could say he needed to tuck in there, but again, he probably didn't know. And maybe you could say, yeah, Cherby needs to get up quicker instead of asking for the foul. He could have done that as well. But yeah, Bisek, not good on that situation at all. Not good situation. Panzer is so bad. We had one season of no Pazza Inter. Yeah, for sure. To be honest, the goals we consider mostly unfortunate. I wouldn't say this one was unfortunate, Massimo. This was definitely of our own doing. The penalty, you could say this was soft, but this was poor defending. This wasn't very unfortunate. The penalty, you could say, was a bit soft. Bisek was clear that the kind of situation experience helps you with. Yeah, 100%. And that's you're gonna learn. That's how you're gonna learn. That's why I'll say that with Aslani as well. Like, you only learn by playing. You can't expect these 20, 21, 22-year-olds to come in and just be already, they know how to deal with every single situation. They need to deal with those situations or make mistakes in that situation, then they learn. Do you think there are too much rotation could be the reason we've been so poor in Vez? Nope, not at all. Because again, we know the amount of football that's being played right now is unreal. If they're not going to rotate, then they're going to completely crumble physically. You saw Acerbi is like we played Acerbi 2-3 games in a row, and he was making mistakes. So definitely not. Rotation is 100% needed this year. It's not even just about the centre backs. Here, of course, we can focus on the centre back situation, but how did the ball get there in the first place? How was the pressing to get? It was just one long ball punted up. The second goal, came from Hakan. It's defending is not just about the defenders, but because we're conceding a lot more goals, and goals come from the area of defenders, we are focusing on the defenders, and they are definitely not performing as well as they were last year. But defending is a team job, just like attacking is not just about Lautaro and Thuram, but Lautaro being top scorer last year makes a big difference. And him not scoring many goals at the beginning of this year makes a big difference. Defensive Dynamo, what's up, bro? Hope you're doing well. Chanko Sharma. Bisek misplaced the ball. Darmian needs to be tucked in. Backline needs to be compact at all times. Yep, 100%. There you go. Like I said, it's all about doing. I don't mind being carved open. We're just a charity when it comes to... Yeah, at the moment we are. Like, even against Red Star, even though that was a clean sheet, every time Red Star were attacking us, it did look like, whoa, they could score from this. Dani Carvalho missed it. Look at that. How many injuries are we going to see now? It's going to get to the point, 100%, that players at some point, of course, they're paid very handsomely, more than some of us will ever paid in our lifetime. But at some point, they will have to take a stance on this, because some people say it's like, oh, why are they complaining? They earn a lot of money. But it's not about that. It's about the product. Like, more games doesn't mean better quality. It's just more quantity. But I'd rather see more quality games. I'd rather players be rested and then be able to play intensely. Whereas now they're having to play intensely because that's just how modern football is, and play a lot. And that takes away from the enjoyment, the style of the play, and why we see a lot more robotic football and system-based football. It's all interconnected. At some point, players are going to have to take a stance, and I hope it's soon, because, FIFA and UEFA, they're just going to keep taking the piss. We should go Solet for free. I think he can't play until January though, Freddie. I think there was, because Udinese have signed him up, but they because he signed, I think after a certain period, I think they can't play him until January or something. But I was surprised about that, the Umar Solet from Salzburg being just available for free. I like him more than Pavlovic. I missed the first half. How was Fratesi? Yeah, he was kind of today. I mean, you can't say visual as usual, Adam. He literally had a really good game against Udinese. I mean, did you miss that Udinese game? He was really good in the Udinese game. Probably one of the man of the matches, as we said on the channel. Yeah, he was okay. Today, his job was, there was no point of him being in the build-up like today. But I was surprised, actually. He wasn't actually particularly effective in the finals there today. Today was the type of game where I thought a chance might sneak to him in the box, but it didn't. I mean, at least he's got 100% pass accuracy, but there was probably maybe one or two that were forward. I'm guessing all of those was like sideways. But it's still good to see him, like, putting up decent passing percentages, which is what I asked for of him. But he's definitely not to blame for today's performance. The midfield in general wasn't really to blame. It was just strikers not taking their chances today, and then poor concentration at the back. Oh no, cold running through. What's that? I missed that. Oh, I hope you guys are well, man. Keep you guys safe. Yeah, I mean, I was just recovering from a cold this past week, so stay safe, family. There's been a lot of talk players going on strike with too many. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Duvan Zapata as well. At the end, which I'm guessing why you guys were talking about that. And also Gabri's mentioned it here. I don't know. It looked like, yeah, he definitely put his knee wrong. I think it's easy to say for me from here, but I don't know why he was trying so hard at the end of that game. He definitely should have just, he was in the corner and he tried to do like a Ronaldo chop type move, sprinting. Like he's been quite injury prone over the last few years of his career. So I was surprised that he was putting so much, sprinting in his last few minutes of the game. Like, yeah, but hopefully it's nothing serious. But yeah, it looked like could potentially maybe be an ACL. The topic of Fratesi is not that I don't like him, but God, I don't like how midfield operates. Yeah, I mean, he operates like, he essentially becomes an auxiliary striker. But that's like, that's his characteristics, Kirby. I think, like, that's just how he should be used, isn't it? To use a player to his best qualities. But I know what you mean in terms of then the midfield kind of almost misses a guy. You don't have that same smoothness. Hey, Anthony's in the house. Oh, look, he's got a new profile picture. Looks like a Red Devils. Boo, boo! This guy. He's starting to rep Man United more than Inter. Look at that. Drop some boos for Anthony in the chat, guys. Drop some boos. But yeah, having blackout periods. That's very extreme thing to say, but it's very accurate. That is what Inter are having, blackouts, like completely just forgetting how to defend at times or complete lacks of concentration. Francis Walsh, welcome to the channel membership, bro. We need to be braver with the ball. That was a weak penalty given. Yeah, let's talk about the penalty as well. It reminded me a little bit of Dumfries against Juve, if you guys remember, Inzaghi's first season, Inter at home, last few minutes of the game, and Dumfries hits Alexandro just on the edge of the box. And again, so speaking about modern football, boo myself. Speaking of modern football, I think this is like a modern penalty, you can say. Like, yes, Messina gets to the ball first there, and Hakan kind of hits his foot. But I think this is a VAR era type of penalty, isn't it? I don't know. It's a bit soft. But again, like by the rule book, Messina gets the ball first. Hakan hits him on the bottom of the foot after. By the letter of the law, I guess it's a penalty. Soft, but technically, yeah, a penalty. But again, in the build-up to this goal, if you saw, ball was bouncing around in the box, pinball. I think it bounced off Pavard, and someone clears it. And then Fratesi tries to get there, but he doesn't get, like, we're just like half a second behind. Like, again, maybe also one thing I've been talking about physically. I think today, Red Star, but like I feel like we're getting there now. This Inter team is starting to get there physically. The heavy preseason we've done, I think we're starting to see Inter hitting their stride now. But still, like, Fratesi didn't get to that ball just before the guy, so then he ends up falling to Messina. And then Hakan just, goes in over aggressive, but half a second too late. Like, there's all these little things that add up that we weren't doing last year. And it's causing us issues, and it's causing us to concede a lot of goals. Now, we're not going to see Palacios. Maybe Coppa Italia. Maybe Coppa Italia. If you're a Palacios fan, just put your heart at rest. You're not going to see this guy for sure. Especially now that we're conceding a lot of goals. Inzaghi is going to go even more conservative. Even more. If Palacios had a chance of being seen today, it's gone. After this type of performance, it's gone. Hakan should leave it to Pavard there. Yeah, probably. Again, yeah, this is what Menzur was saying, that Hakan, he's not the Hakan from last year. He's definitely not MVP Hakan. If I had to make, I will do in this international break, I'll make my Serie A team way too soon, Serie A team of the season, but like, up until match day 7. Hakan's not my CDM. It's probably going to be Lobotka or, someone else. Maybe even Locatelli. Not Hakan. Would any Inter player, maybe Thuram gets in there. Maybe Thuram, Di Marco would get in there. Maybe Bastoni. I'm not really putting any other Inter player here at the moment. So, like, our main players are not performing to the level that they were last year. I mean, Ricci, again, Ricci, where did he play today, guys? Suraj, 0. Ricci, where did he play today? He didn't play CDM today. So, Yeah, but Richie has been playing well. Today wasn't really a game for him. He didn't really get much of the ball today. Yeah, but in general, yeah, he's been good as well. He'll probably get into the team ahead of Hakan. So that says a lot. That says a lot. And Lobotka in general is one of my favorite. Maybe he's my favorite non-Inter player in Serie A. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I do like some players outside of Inter, but Lobotka might be my favorite non-Inter player in Serie A, and he's been really good. Yeah, Ricci's and Torino's always played a bit more mezzala. Sometimes, some games he started to play Regista under Vanoli now. Retegui obviously gets in for sure. This should be Retegui, obviously Retegui, Pulisic, Retegui, Thuram up front, Pulisic somewhere, Lobotka, maybe McTominay. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. But yeah, what I'm saying is, yeah, not many Inter players at the moment are in the running, especially our two MVPs from last year, Lautaro and Hakan. They're definitely not in the running at the moment. That should tell you something. Let's get back to the screenshots. Yeah, so we talked about Beckenbauer's mistakes. And then, yeah, Lautaro, we talked about how definitely he should have scored more goals today, or some goals today, at least one goal today. He had this volley that was deflected out, but then he had some headers. Yeah, they had this header, like completely free header that he gets off target, not even on target. So in general, good general performance from Lautaro, but especially now that I thought, he scored 2 games in a row, I really was hoping and wanting him to score again. Definitely nowhere near his form last year still at the moment. And I don't know how long we can wait for Lauti. And then we get to Thuram's third goal. As I said, first 2 goals, really nice finishes with his head, but third one, you could say even more of a striker's goal than the others because, yeah, being in the right place at the right time, but then also not connecting with the ball properly. It's probably not how he wanted to finish, but then manages to do it. Like, this is how Hernan Crespo or Christian Vieri would be able to finish. Just, however, whichever way you can get it in, hits it towards the ground and then it bounces over Milinkovic-Savic. Really, really nice way to round off things for Marcus Thuram. And even this, I think, came from like a Bastoni cross as well. So, yeah, Bastoni was immense today. We covered that. We covered this. Yeah, I think we covered all the screenshots, actually. Oh, yeah, there was this chance. DiMarco could have scored here as well. Marcus Thuram putting him in behind. DiMarco touch, shoots across Milinkovic-Savic, but he makes a decent save here. DiMarco was also pretty decent most of the time. But yeah, we are done with the screenshots. Thuram was at fault for the penalty, lost the ball like Mickey did versus Milan. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I was looking away. I just saw like just a few seconds before the goal happened. I need to rewatch that. And he should have scored as well. I think he might have been offside, but he was a 1v1 on Milinkovic-Savic and he hit it straight at him. Pippo Inzaghi type finish. Yeah, you know what I mean, exactly. Advance seems to love switching off once the 80th minute start. I mean, this year has been not 80th minute. It's been early, much earlier than 80th minute. We've been conceding a lot of early goals this year. Limone must show people video to Thuram 30 so fit, typical Fox in the box. We didn't cover that awful. Yeah, just mentioned it now. Because I don't know if he was offside or not, but it was, I don't know how he didn't score that. The right side of the back. This right centre back, it's just, I don't know what to do. I mean, this is the thing. Pavard is a high quality player, so just because he's been out of form recently doesn't mean we should drop him. And he has been dropped like today. Bisek did start. So he has been given like a bit of a, you're not an undroppable. And you should in general trust top quality players to return to form. It's not that, yeah, okay, you can drop them maybe for 1 or 2 games or for a little period, but in general, we should trust Benji Pavard, who was, our star signing of last summer after Skriniar left, and he was really good for us last year. And in general, I would put him in that kind of near world-class quality level, especially as a right centre-back over three, because I think that's just the perfect position for him, for his qualities. I think we should trust him at some point to return to his level. And this applies to, Lautaro, Hakan, but like all of our top players, that's, when the guys like Bisek, Darmiano, like these guys in the drop form, then you can say like, drop. But so the right centre back is an issue for me, and I tweeted it out that maybe we need to drop Darmian there, because to me, I've been saying it for a long time, Darmian should be just a right centre back permanently. Like I would have signed a right wing back, so I would have had Dumfries plus a right wing back, and then move Darmian to right centre back with the Pavard, and then Bisek can be left centre back plus Bastoni. That's, again, I've talked about it in the past. I don't want to sound like a broken record. That's what I would have done. But maybe Darmian, we saw, especially this season where Skriniar was out injured, the Champions League run. Darmian was very good as the right centre back as well. But yeah, for now, I still want to trust someone of the quality of Pavard to essentially come back to form at some point. No composure. Or put Pavard in the out the door category so far this season. What do you mean? As in, like, you think he's got one eye out the door, as in he wants to leave, or he's thinking about leaving, or you want him to leave? Explain that for me, Ian. And again, these guys don't just forget how to play. Seems like a variety of mental issues at the moment. But that's the thing. It never really seems to be talked about in the media. So, and it's never like something that's leaked in terms of like interested in this right wing back, etc. It doesn't seem like at all as a position that Inzaghi or the board seems to be concerned about. I mean, come get rid of some. I mean, yeah, of course, if he continues performing like this, Ian, for sure, and he is quite a high earner, he's going to be 29 at the end of the year. So maybe probably will be an ideal time to get rid. But again, as for the season currently, until the end of the season, I was still trying to trust him to come back to form. Well, someone has to. Like, I would rather trust Pavard's form to return than trust a young player like Bisek to suddenly, get his defensive IQ and concentration up. Do you know what I mean? Like with Pavard, it's more about that, just getting back to that form. Whereas with Bisek, it's about learning, getting to that next step. If you know what I mean. Do you want to talk about the ultras? Do they even deserve mention? Some people asked about it at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, I mean, what is there really to talk about? I mean, I'm not connected to the ultras, to the Curva Nord. I don't go watch games with them when I go San Siro. I stay away from that area. I know Ian is kind of like almost an honorary member of the Curva Nord, but is it a surprise that the leaders of the Curva Nord were involved with illicit activities? Not at all. So apparently now there's a new leadership of the Curva, younger guys, different people that apparently not involved in illicit activities now. They're going to lead in a different way, modern way. So let's see. Yeah, I don't really, and honestly, I haven't really looked into it. Like, I'm just not really that interested. They're like a completely different part or way of supporting Inter, if you know what I mean. Like, it's completely different to how I am as a person. Like, I did once sit in the Curva when I went San Siro, and it was like, it's really intense. They kind of expect you to be chanting and singing with them, and some of them get really aggressive and angry if you don't. And just as people, like, they're just different types of people from who I kind of associate with because of obviously what they do outside of football. But not all of them, obviously, not all those thousands and thousands of guys that are up there, but I'm talking about the leaders and many amongst them as well. But yeah. But of course, they always deserve the credit for what they do in terms of the noise of the stadium, let's not lie. Of course, sometimes when some songs go around the stadium, it's amazing, but it really is led, the noise, the atmosphere is led by the ultras in the Curva Nord. Without them, we wouldn't have that. But that's about as much as, I can appreciate them for. Bellanova for 7 million with massive opportunity. Well, again, he's not really like, I've talked about it as well. Like I think he's a missed opportunity because we could have sold him just like, Torino sold him for 20-25 million this past summer. But not because of what I think, you saw that Inter was just a bit of too big of a step. Went to Torino. He needed that year, just like Aslani needs a year somewhere like Torino. He got that year, great year under Juric. But it doesn't mean he's ready for Inter. Now he's going to Atalanta and he's started off decent, nothing amazing, but I'm not like pulling my hair out for not signing him. Because playing for it, you've seen it, Timmy. Like the boy was booed off, and he was almost in tears at the San Siro. Speaking of the San Siro, very harsh place, very harsh crowd, and it's very hard to recover from that mentally. And he doesn't strike me as someone very, strong like that. Especially like he's in Interista, felt like he kind of felt it extra. But yeah, and again, he's a profile wise maybe, but again, he kind of really gets involved at the end of a move rather than in build up. Yeah, again, no white taps, no shade to you. I mean, of course, some of them are your boys. Have the court documents, 570 pages long. Geez, realize curva. But yeah, no, respect to you, but there's lots of questionable people within them and around them. Yeah, again, Badzel, not all of them, but yeah, some of them definitely associate with some questionable views, political views and moral views. Let's say that. Let's leave it at that before Ian gets his boys to beat me up. Maybe these young lads just rock the buzz cut, not the tattoos. Times are changing. I love and appreciate the ultras. Imagine we had fans like Prem clubs. Well, that's it. Like Adam, like let's be real. San Siro atmosphere is great. Italian stadium atmosphere is great, but without ultras, let's be real, it wouldn't be like as good as it is. They do really carry it in terms of the atmosphere for sure. That's why Juve Stadium is so. Juve under Agnelli, I think beginning of 2010s, they cut ties with the ultras, and the ultras were either banned or they also kind of boycotted coming to the stadium. I think it was actually they kind of Juve just completely banned them. So, and that's why it's also easy to make fun of Juve atmosphere at the stadium, because it is not as good as any other stadium in Italy, even though it's a nice new stadium, because they don't have ultras. I think they've returned this season now. I think Juve have kind of started to integrate them back in slowly. But without ultras, the atmosphere is definitely gets to Premier League levels, yeah. Now Cambiaso, now that's I remember the summer we almost signed Cambiaso, but then we ended up getting Bellanova. Cambiaso, and at the time I didn't see the potential with Cambiaso. When I looked at the tape, when I looked at between Cambiaso and Bellanova, I looked at Cambiaso's performances at Genoa. He kind of struck me almost as he looked to me like a Darmian, not in a bad way, but I thought like this guy looks like a solid player. But Bellanova to me was like more raw, but then more upside. So I was kind of happy when we signed Bellanova over Cambiaso because I didn't know about this. But then Cambiaso went to Bologna on loan under Motta, and he showed like he can be this inverted guy. He can play left, right, like wow. And then now at Juve already he's becoming one of the main guys. Cambiaso is definitely more of a missed chance than Bellanova, 100%. Every time Bastoni sub or we concede. Yeah, we've talked about this actually recently as well. I think it was you, Languistos, that mentioned there was someone else, the Bastoni leaving, and we concede. But today we also conceded when Bastoni was there as well. So it kind of, doesn't apply as much. But it is true that when Bastoni comes on, we saw it that we seem to concede. Definitely hard to tar everyone with the same brush. Ultras are there to be the 12 men. Obviously, it's hard to weed out criminality. But this latest operation by the authorities is big. Yeah, and it's not just involving Inter Ultras, it's also involving Milan Ultras, and I'm sure it might spread to other Ultras organizations around Italy as well. If you're watching J League, they have some similar Curva too, but I heard Yakuza got to infiltrate them. It would be great to get a new centre back in January. Yeah, maybe. But again, I would rather the centre back position is something that we need to get right. I'd rather us not get someone in just numerically, Alexander, if you know what I mean. The centre back position, especially with Acerbi's contract expiring at the end of the season, I think De Vrij is also one of them probably will be renewed. Probably De Vrij age-wise, we'll see. But that's going to have to be a long-term, really key decision. Like, we need to get the right guy. So getting someone in January just because, we're looking a bit shaky right now and we don't have the money, I don't think it's the right move. Thank you, Faisal. Appreciate that. Loving the support as well. Thank you, guys. Oh, it was Mattia who mentioned that. Yeah, there you go. Thank you for reminding me, bro. Thank you for the quality. Well, I mean, to me, I also was of the same ilk or thought, but I meant as a starter for sure. And I think maybe that's what Nima meant as well. I thought he was definitely, I would have had any day of the week Retegui as a backup to Lautaro and Thuram. Definitely, even when Genoa signed him, I was kind of jealous that, they got him for quite cheap at the time. Atalanta paid quite a lot for him, so they paid like 25 million. But yeah, he's doing really well. He would do well in the Inter team because the amount of chances we create. Yeah, the TJ thing is interesting to see. Like, and Inzaghi keeps mentioning him as well. So, but the issue is he only used them as a left wing back, which was really confusing last year. He never used them as a right wing back. But when we signed him, I thought, yes, he could be used as a left wing back, but he's going to be the right wing back. But now, when he comes back and they're saying end of October potentially and start of November, he's going to need time. That's the thing. He was already raw and needing time and integration last season. Now that he's had literally a leg break, literally broke his leg, he's going to need to get really slowly reintegrated into first being an athlete, running, football, fitness, then being a Serie A player, left wing back, right wing back. However, in the Inzaghi system, like, I think we're talking about 2025 when we're talking about TJ really being potentially someone that can impact this team. Let's do man of the match, guys. Who was man of the match? Let's see what Fatmob was saying here. Yeah, I think Acerbi actually overall did quite well outside, obviously, the goal that we conceded, which I think Duvan Zapata did foul Acerbi. He got an assist. In general, he won. Duvan Zapata, an absolute beast of a player. I think Acerbi did quite well most of the time against him. Yeah, 4 duels won, 5 lost, but in general, he was pretty good. Bastoni was really good. Even he had a nice few duels with the Duvan Zapata sometimes in the middle. Bisek, quite rightly, quite low. Oh, they're giving him Cameroon country. Has he chosen to play for Cameroon instead of Germany now? No, I am. Maybe there was a reason why Fatmob does that. But yeah, obviously we know in possession, Bisek is fine, but defensively, the goal conceded was definitely on him. Darmian, I don't know why he's given such a high rating here. He was okay. He had 3 shots today, apparently, Darmian. Damn. None of them on target. Apparently, even tries 2 dribbles. No accurate crosses, no accurate long balls. Yeah, pretty meh. Mkhitaryan was good today. Definitely enjoyed Mkhitaryan's performance today. He's coming back to form, which is what I mean. We're talking about quality players. You can trust them to come back to form. Mkhitaryan is an example. He's coming back to form right now. But yeah, in terms of man of the match, I guess, yeah, it's Pretty obvious, right? Only one answer. Thuram, Correa. Do you think it might be Zoma's last season? I mean, yeah, that you'd think so. I mean, it doesn't look like it to me. I don't really see much of a drop off with Zoma. He's been pretty solid. I mean, yeah, maybe here and there he's dropped one or two off color performances, but yeah, what is it? Let's have a look at Zoma's. When does his contract expire? Is it next year? Contract until 2026. It depends, man. It depends. It's at the moment it's hard to see him really being usurped by Martinez at the moment. But yeah, Marcus Thuram has to be man of the match. Very, very easy choice today. 3 goals, 5 shots. Not very, yeah, today he was really the number 9. It was barely ever coming deep to collect the ball. He's very much trying to be the bomber now, and he's doing quite well. Apparently in XG, only 0.59 XG. That's very big overperformance from his XG. Very, very good sign. 3 out of 4 shot accuracy. Only 25 touches. Yeah, this is very much a fox in the box. Mauro Icardi, Inzaghi type of performance. Very, very good. Very, very good. Di Marco was also quite good. My God, he was spamming crosses today. I mean, he was also taking a lot of corners, but 3 out of 17 crosses completed. Not very good percentage. Substitutes. Yeah, not much to talk about. Zielinski was pretty decent when he came on. Thuram should have scored. Pavard got a really high rating. Why was that? Yeah, and then Bisa got the yellow card, so you knew that he was coming off at half time, right? He was marked for death straight away. Yeah, Mickey was good. Look, it was a painful game. It was a painful game. I'm glad that you got some sleep and didn't stay up to watch this. It was kind of stressful, but at least 3 points. Limone must be done some calculation when the players are back to full fitness form after much higher intensity. Yeah, so that's what I thought today. And Red Star, I think we're starting to see Inter, like physically. I think we're starting to see Inter getting better now. They're looking a little bit sharper. But yeah, maybe the calculation was kind of October, November when the games are back to back, Champions League, Coppa Italia, to be at best, and then again. They usually say February, March is like the business end of the season. That's when all the best teams, perform best. So hopefully that's the type of calculation they've done. I expect us to do nothing in January, Theo, to be honest. That's my not what I want, but that's my expectation. At the moment I don't really see Martinez getting in front of him the moment if he continues like this. What do you think about the special transfer window July? Do you think we're going to? Yeah, I don't know. They need to decide what the hell they're going to do with that. Like, that's such a gray area at the moment. Like, yeah, guys, that contract expires because the contract expires at the end of June, so 30th of June. Are they going to? Because I don't think you're allowed to have like a 1-month extension. There has to be a year extension, right? I don't think you can even do a 6-month extension. So FIFA got to bring out, unless I miss something, they got to break out some sort of special rule. And yeah, we're definitely going to have to do that for sure for the Club World Cup, like some temporary extension. Yeah, definitely. One thing, I don't know if you noticed, so Vanoli, the Torino coach, wasn't actually on the bench today because he got suspended in the last game. So his number 2 stepped in, and his name is, I'm not even making this up, Godinho. What a name. Like in Italian, godo is like, enjoy, like it means enjoy, or, or godendo, like really enjoying this. Is a Godinho. It's just like, sounds like an absolutely made up, like fantasy football Italian name, or like a made up career name, or like you're playing FIFA. Just making a name up, Godinho. Hilarious. But yeah, shouts out to Torino, very well coached team. Why are they not allowing clubs to have bigger squads to deal with all the extra games? Well, I mean, 25 key players is I think his squad size, Ian. I think it's a pretty big squad. At the end of the day, and like at the same time, you could also say clubs, you don't always have to play the same players. I mean, it's easy to say being a big club and having a big squad, but if you have 25 players, why should always the same 11, 12 guys be playing? But yeah, maybe 30 man would help, but again, like how much are they really going to play, Ian? Like, you let them have that. I really don't see how the clubs would actually be really using that. I mean, yeah, you see already with Inzaghi, he's not really using the younger players. Technically Inzaghi you have a 30-man squad, you can use any Primavera players that you want. As far as I understand, in Serie A, you can use any Primavera player you want at any time. You don't think you have to register Primavera players. I think you can play them whenever you need. Tim, who's just finished the game, good morning to you, bro. Yeah, definitely made it more difficult than it should have been. Yeah, I mean, not just us, and I'm talking about just in general. But yeah, I mean, the Italian teams definitely don't want that, having to pay 5 more salaries for sure. Oak Tree, yeah. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. I mean, we enjoyed definitely Marcus Thuram's performance with the tripleta, the hat trick. We definitely didn't enjoy the defending, but at least it's 3 points, and we are back on 2 points behind Napoli, which is what best we can do right now. Now we've got the international break, but I will continue making content. I still have the video that I wanted to make. I know I mentioned it. I think I mentioned the previous international break. So I have the Excel sheet is ready. I want to show you guys just a little overview of like how Inter are looking financially in terms of squad cost compared to other teams in the league and what we can expect in the summer. Just like a quick overview. So that's something that I want to definitely make over this international break. And then FIFA content, actually, yeah. So I got a PS5 webcam the other day, and I'm going to copy what Anthony did. Sometimes if I'm playing, online or career mode. Actually, I never play career mode, but I might just do a career mode just for you guys or just for content sake. Because I heard the new career mode on FIFA on FC25. Oh, look at that. I heard it's actually much nicer. So yeah, you might see some random FIFA content from me or FC25, whatever I'm still going to call it FIFA. Anyway, yeah, thank you, Mattia, for reminding. Hit that like button. Thank you, Adam. Hope you are doing well. Good morning to you guys in Australia. Bernbrook, yeah, he looks interesting. Cocky as well, yeah. But yeah, going to be loaned out. Sheshko, yeah, I mean, we missed the boat on that long time ago, mate. He's a 50, 60, 70 million plus player, unfortunately, not within our budgets. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Marcus Thuram. Shout out Inter. 3 points. Not good defending, but we'll take it. Always after Inter.